My name is Adrienne Montgomery. I'm with ERP VAR. I'm joined today by CertaPro and Starship. They're two very strong integrated solutions with Sage 100. We're going to be talking about e-commerce and automated shipping, and a little bit about the speakers quickly here. I'm joined by Raphael Avedison. He's the account executive over at CertaPro. Nick Young, he's the senior ERP consultant at CertaPro. And Matt St. John, who is the senior account executive over at Starship. And then a little bit about the companies. CertaPro is based in Los Angeles. They are leading integrator of Magento with Sage 100. It's powered by eLink, which is a two-way connector that handles all data connection points for business partner portals and B2B, B2C e-commerce needs. As a Magento technology partner, CertaPro has a team of Sage certified developers, consultants, technicians, CPAs, and software programmers that leverage over 20 years of experience. So thank you, CertaPro, for being with us today. Starship is developed by V Technologies, and it was founded in 1987. And they provide integrated multi-carrier shipping software solutions that connect the warehouse to the front office. And they have partnerships over years with parcel carriers such as FedEx, USPS, and UPS, LTL carriers such as DHL, UPS, ABF, XPO, Old Dominion, as well as regional carriers like Pitt, Ohio, and OnTrack. And Starship provides a very strong integration, mature integration for years and years and years with Sage 100, also Sage 300, Acumatica, Dynamics GP, Dynamics 365 BC, QuickBooks, SAP Business One, and Epicor. They also have integrations with Amazon, eBay, Magento, and WooCommerce. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Raphael with CertaPro, who's going to talk about the Magento eLink. Thank you, Rob.
Again, thank you so much, Adrienne, for the introduction. Hi, everyone. I want to start by thanking you for providing us with this opportunity to present our eLink solution here today. As Adrienne mentioned, I'm Raphael. I'm the account executive here at CertaPro, and I'm also joined by Nick Young, who's our eLink product manager, as well as the senior ERP consultant. I just would like to start by introducing our company, just telling you a little bit more about us, our product, our capacity, and then some of the benefits, and then have Nick do the live demo. Please note that this is more of a general, concise demo of our integration with basic functionality out of the box. As such, if this is of interest, please reach out to us directly afterwards. Would love to take a deeper dive into your requirements and then tailor the demo as well as the solution to your business processes. Again, a little bit about us. As Adrienne mentioned, we're headquartered in LA, and we've been in business for over 10 years. And we specialize in integrating Sage ERP with e-commerce platforms, as well as building them out, meaning building out the e-commerce stores as well as the B2B portals using platforms such as Magento, WooCommerce, and Shopify. We're a very Sage-centric ISV, and Sage is the only ERP system that we work with, which again means for you is that we have a full team of consultants and developers for each end of the solution. So for the website and the B2B portal, the integration itself between the platforms and Sage. And we have them in-house. We don't outsource anything, so we can provide any custom solution that is really required to meet our clients' needs. Our eLink solution is compatible with Sage 100, Sage 300, Sage 500, and Sage X3. And on the e-commerce side, it integrates with open source Magento, Adobe Commerce, WooCommerce, and Shopify. But again, for the purpose of this webinar, we'll be showcasing the integration in Sage 100. And what we do in general, we provide a solution for companies that just need a better and integrated e-commerce site. Before working with us, our customers may not even had a website at all, or they may have had one, it just wasn't integrated with Sage. And that meant that all the online orders would still have to be manually entered into Sage for order processing. And some of our customers just came in asking for something that worked more like Amazon or eBay, but with that B2B functionality, and just didn't know what solutions were available in the marketplace. And this is where eLink, our solution, comes into play. So eLink forms a two-way sync between Sage and the e-commerce platform. It handles all data connection points between Sage and that portal. So again, your Sage customer information can now be updated to that web store or the portal, depending on your business model, 24/7, 365 days a year. Online orders can be created in Sage and be ready to be processed within minutes. And again, this is all completed without running any manual batch jobs or any manual export and import procedures. The entire process is fully automated. And without further ado, I'd like to just transfer controls to Nick and have him actually showcase out of the box solution.
So this is just a fresh copy of Magento, now Adobe Commerce, and then the demo data that comes with it so that we have some products and everything. And then we have a fresh copy of Sage, and then we've linked the two together. So everything that I'm going to show you is out of the box functionality for our solution. The solution handles both B2B and B2C, so it'll do your e-commerce needs of people being able to go shop online. It'll deal with bringing over products and creating them on the web. We'll bring over any information that we have in Sage into the products, so you can do names, SKUs, inventory pricing, all of that. If you have images in Sage, we can bring the images over into the web as well. So you can completely manage your products directly from Sage if you want. If you want to manage your products directly from the web, you can do that as well. So depending on how your company's set up, maybe your marketing team spends all their time on the website, then as long as the SKU on the website matches the SKU in Sage, we can still sync all the information that you need, like pricing, inventory levels, and things like that. And then the other team can manage, the product images and content and everything directly on the site. So you have a lot of flexibility about how you manage the website. All pricing comes over from Sage. So however you can set up pricing in Sage, your price levels, your price groups, price codes, quantity breaks, everything that you can set up in Sage, customer specific pricing, all of that comes over into the website and then is calculated on the website based on the logged in customers. So whatever price the customer would see on the sales order in Sage for the quantity that you put in, that's also what they see on the website for the quantity that they add to the cart. So you don't have to worry about doing any sort of imports of customer types or groups or prices for by customer or anything. Everything is automatic coming from Sage. For the demo, I'll just add a couple of products to the cart. We'll do a checkout. You can see how the order goes into Sage. And then I'll show you how the data comes from Sage back into the website, into their portal, so they can manage their invoices and make payments and everything like that. So we will go to the checkout. When we get to the checkout, you can see we already have a customer address set up. We do import the addresses from Sage. So when you create the customer on the web and you link it to the Sage customer, all of its addresses will automatically be available to them for checkout, for shipping. Shipping methods will bring the freight that gets calculated on the web into the sales order if you want. So you can set up your shipping however you would on your e-commerce site, and we'll bring the freight over. When we get to the checkout, we add a couple of payment methods with the solution. We have our credit card payment method, which is linked to all of the Sage integrated payment providers. So Paya, Repay, eBiz Charge, all of the ones that you can integrate with Sage. We also have the integration on the websites. So here, if I do a credit card order, I can select from my saved cards or add a new card here. This is going to do the pre-authorization on the web. It's going to bring the tokens into the sales order. So it's all PCI compliant. We're not actually storing any credit card information on the web. We're using all the tokenization that you would expect. And then on the sales order, whatever you actually ship, that's what's going to be captured during the invoicing process. So you don't have to worry about, if you short ship an order, you're still going to get that functionality where you pre-auth the amount and then you actually capture what you ship. So the other payment method that we add is our bill me payment method. This is based on the customer's payment terms. So you set up which terms are credit card only, which ones are basically their terms. So if they have credit card only terms, then the bill me disappears and they have to check out with a credit card. So it's a way to really control, like if you have COD or cash customers, they can't check out on terms versus your B2B customers that have terms, they can check out, and get an invoice later. So I'll check out with the credit card so you can see how that process works when we go to the Sage, and then we'll create an invoice on that so that you can see how that goes back to their portal. So once we place this order, we'll go to the customer's portal and we'll look at their sales orders. You can see we have a new order with a web order number. Some customers call this a confirmation number, whatever you want to call this. At the time we place the order, this does not go directly into Sage, it goes into a queue. This allows the website to be up all of the time. So even if your Sage isn't available for any particular reason, customer can still go online, they can still place orders, make payments on their accounts, get all their pricing, do everything they would normally do on the website. As soon as Sage is available in the background, then it will automatically export. So if I go refresh this page a couple of times, I hope, we'll just go manually export this order from the queue so that we don't have to wait. Once we export the order, then this will, and we go import, then this will automatically move down to accepted orders. So we'll go into our orders and we'll import back from Sage. Normally this would happen every 5 minutes in the background. So you can see now that order is moved from pending and now it's down here in accepted orders. So this now has gone to Sage. Whatever business logic you have in Sage, that will be applied to the order, and then the order gets exported back into the customer's account in the website. So here we have the actual Sage order number. Here's that original confirmation number. And if we go view the order, you can see it's got actual order information from Sage. So if we go into Sage and we update quantities, add products, change pricing, whatever we might do in Sage, that will also be re-exported to the customer's account, and they'll see those changes live on their site as well. And if we go look at the order in Sage, we've added that web order number as a column in the table that we export, so that if customer calls in and all they have is their confirmation email with that number, customer service can still look up that order by that number as well. You can see it did a pre-authorization, so you have the actual credit card transaction on the order. This will fall through to the invoice and the capture will happen during the invoicing process. We are using business objects, so when it loads the customer into the form, it loads all of the customer's defaults. So you get all of the functionality you would get as if you're entering the order directly here in the form. So we then override the information from the web. So you've got the email address of the person that was actually placing the order, the addresses they selected during the checkout. Here's the items that we selected during checkout. So the totals looks like you would expect it to, it pulled in the customer's, the sales rep's commission rate from the customer and everything like that. So you get all the full functionality you would get from the sales order entry in Sage directly on the order that comes from the website. So if you have any other business logic to automatically add items, calculate, fees, whatever it might be, that stuff will all still happen, and then that would all be applied to the order that goes back to the customer. We will go ahead and invoice this order quickly. We'll add a couple tracking numbers here so you can see how those go back. If you're using Starship, which you're going to hear about from Matt shortly, the tracking numbers get stored from Starship into this exact same table. So you get automatic integration with Starship as well, where you do your shipping in Starship, the tracking numbers get updated in Sage, and then we pull those into the customer's invoice as well. So we went ahead and invoiced that order in interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and do the import of the invoices and tracking so that we don't wait. Again, all of this can be scheduled. All of these individual modules that sync can be scheduled on individual times. So you can choose really how quickly your invoices make it back to the web, how quickly sales orders go from the web into Sage. So you have a granular control over the scheduling of all of the modules that sync between Sage and the website. So if we go back to our sales orders, you can see now that sales order has an invoice associated with it. That's the one we just created. If we go view that sales order again, you can see at the bottom we have the invoices and tracking. If we had shipped in multiple orders, multiple shipments, then you would see multiple invoices down here and all the tracking numbers. One thing I want to point out is in the sales orders, you can see we have like this sales order that does not have any web order number associated with it. We bring all of the customer's history from Sage into the website, regardless of where the origination of the transaction is. So customers don't even have to be using the website for ordering, but they can still come to the website to print copies of their orders and invoices, make payments on their account and everything. We don't care about the origination of the transaction. And on this particular one, this item doesn't even, it's not available for ordering on the website. We don't care if the item is even existing on the website. They'll get their exact history as it is in Sage. So it's really helpful for your B2B customers that just need to be able to go and make payments on account or print invoices without having to call the office and have you email or fax them the invoices. So we also have this AR view of invoices. So instead of looking at the sales order and going to the sales order and looking at invoices in the bottom, you can go directly to invoices and see all of your shipments and tracking right here in a grid. And then again, we can look at the details of the invoice and we can see what was actually shipped, any tracking and comments that go with it. And then there's links back and forth between the sales orders and the invoices. So everything is all linked together so the customer has a view of their account no matter where they're looking. From the portal, we've got lots of options. So, you're running a store where customers go and they shop and they order things, but you may have B2B where customers just need to go place a quick PO and get their order into the system. So we have our quick order entry form, which is integrated with Sage. It's more like a PO entry form. You can search quickly by SKU or name on the products. They can add what they want to the grid, update their quantities. They get stock check availability from Sage. You can modify this to show the actual stock if you wanted to, if you're, really B2B centric business. All the pricing comes from Sage. So if we had quantity breaks set up here, if I updated the quantity, it would update the unit price. And if I moused over the unit price, I would see all the quantity breaks that go with that. So this is a very quick way for B2B customers to enter an order. When they click add to cart and check out, it's going to add everything to the cart, go directly to the last screen, the checkout for payment, and they can submit the order. Once they have made orders, if they're have terms or whatever, you want them to be able to make payments. So we have our payments module also. Again, we don't care about the origination for the payment. So we have some customers that sent in checks. They paid these invoices with it. This one check paid these 2 invoices. They can see quickly the check that was sent in and which invoices they paid with that check. And then, these are credit card payments online. They do the same thing. So we don't care about the origination. We show everything from the customer's account online for their viewing. Here they can make a new payment. Same credit cards that they have available to them in the checkout. If they want to add a new credit card here, they can. If the account has ACH enabled, we can enable ACH payments also. So you can save on some credit card fees by allowing them to pay by e-check basically. I'm going to go ahead and do this as a credit card so I can show you that payment. Can add from their open invoices, add that to the grid. If they want a short pay, you can allow them. We can lock these fields so that they have to pay total invoices, or you can allow short pay. So here I can do, $550 on this second one. And this is going to do a $2,300.50 payment. Unlike the checkout that did a pre-authorization, this is going to do an actual charge on the credit card at the time they do the payment. So you don't have to worry about if the funds are available when you go to post the cash receipts or anything like that. This will export to Sage. It will export as a cash receipt and it'll be applied to the invoices that they selected and the amounts they selected automatically. So if you go into Sage, you'll have a new batch for cash receipts. You'll have all the cash receipts from that batch, and you'll see all of that information. We have a very basic integration with RMA and Sage also, so you can allow your customers to come in and place RMAs online. So they can come, create an RMA, choose from their previously purchased products, add them to the RMA grid. The return reasons are coming from Sage. So, you set up all your return reasons in RMA and Sage, and then in here they automatically show up. You can filter these further on the web. So maybe you don't want the word defective showing up on your website anywhere. You can make it so that this return reasons don't include defective there. Actions are filterable also, so you get the Sage credit replacement repair options that are available in returns authorization in Sage. Maybe on the web you don't want to allow credit, just replacement or repair. These can be filtered also so that credit isn't available. So customer comes in, they choose their reasons. It's going to pull the quantities directly from the invoice. So if this guy had 5 shipped, then it would pull 5 here. They can update the quantities for how much they're actually returning, and then they can place that RMA. This, like the cash, is going to stay in pending. That's one thing that I didn't mention. So this will stay up in pending until you actually go and move this from new to open inside of Sage. That way, your customers don't get an actual RMA number until you go and approve the RMA, basically. Some of our customers even hide the confirmation number. They don't want any information going to the customer until it's approved. So it'll just say like pending or something like that. And then you'll have instructions for what to do once you get the RMA. Once this gets exported to Sage and it gets changed to open, this will move down to accepted, and they'll see all of the status for the RMA. And you can then in Sage create your replacement orders or work orders or whatever you're going to do from that. Same thing for payments, by the way. The payment will stay up here in pending payments until you actually go post the batch. And the reason why is if I go look at my account, my balance does not reflect this payment that I just made. So once you go and post the batch, this will move down to payment history, and then it will be reflected in their balance. So just a note to make about the difference between the sales orders pending and the pending payments and everything. You do notice it did pick up the deposit number from Sage. It's got a reference number now from Sage. So this did export to Sage, and if we go look at cash receipts, we can actually see that cash receipt. So here's our deposit. And then we have the one entry from this one. There's the $2,350 payment. Underlined, you can see I paid these 2 invoices. I have $550 posted on the second one, so this invoice will still have a $650 balance. And if we go to make another payment, even though this is not posted, when I go to add invoices, I only have that $650 left to pay. So it's smart enough to know that there's a pending payment in the system. It's not going to let them overpay their invoices or anything like that. We have lots of other functionality like related to customer specific products where you can make it so that you have products that only that customer can see. That's all managed inside of Sage. We have multi-customer functionality where you maybe have one login on the web that needs to manage multiple Sage customer numbers, where they get another menu where they can see the multiple customers and everything else. So if you're interested in any of that functionality, we can show that in a personalized demo as well. Given time constraints and everything, I'll wrap this up here and I'll pass this back to Adrian, but I appreciate everybody's time today for joining.
Thank you, Nick. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Matt with Starship. Thank you, Matt. And we do have several questions for you guys, so hang tight. I'm going to answer those at the end.
Okay, thank you, Adrian. And let me share my screen here. I'll get this out of the way. Okay. Right here. Oops, there we go. So I know Adrian started off telling everyone a little bit about V Technologies, but I just want to kind of talk a little bit more about us as a company. Of course, again, everyone, my name is Matt St. John. I'm the Senior Sales Executive here at V Technologies.
Matt, if I may just interrupt you real quick, you do have your webcam on and it's a blank. It's kind of taking up some of the screen at the top. I didn't know how easy it might be for you to turn that off.
Let's get rid of this. I don't know how that got turned on. Hold on one sec. Oops, where'd it go?
It should be at the top banner. And if you can't find it, no big deal. But
there we go.
There you go.
All right, thank you.
Thank
you. All right. So, and again, I was going to say, appreciate everyone taking time for today's webinar. Of course, we know everyone's time is valuable, so really appreciate this. So back to it with VTech. As you see, we were founded in 1987, as Adrian mentioned earlier. We are with carriers like UPS and FedEx, just so you know, we are a certified solution for those carriers. And basically what that means is things like our shipping labels are going to be delivered to you already certified. We go through those pains so you don't have to, because of course UPS and FedEx, they do have certain need or requirements for their labels. So just know they are all certified. Also with UPS and FedEx, if anyone is taking advantage of their subsidy programs or you're unaware of subsidy programs, they do have programs where you can qualify for free funding, and because we're a certified solution, you can actually use that funding to purchase Starship. As you see down below, in 2023, we were named the UPS Premier Partner, which is a great honor to receive. And of course, then over the years, the 35 plus years we've been in business, we've actually had over 10,000 companies that have used our integrated shipping solutions to really help streamline their day-to-day shipping process. I'll do a quick demo, and you're also going to see not only does Starship help with the warehouse and shipping, but we're going to also help the front office with their job. So from invoicing inside of Sage to being able to have access to the shipping information, even sending out custom emails that are branded with your company information. So with those emails, have things like hyperlink tracking information, and a lot of our clients use those emails to help cut down those inbound calls of where clients are just calling up to say, hey, where's my order? Where's my shipment? So again, I'll show you that towards the end of the demo. Oops. And of course, now this is not going to work. Let me just try this here. Yeah. Sorry. Of course, we're going to have issues today. Let me just X out of here and we'll try this again. Oh, okay, there we go. So again, with V Technologies, been in business for 35 plus years. We do, of course, today talking about the integration with Sage 100, but if anyone wants to know, we do integrate with 14 other ERP systems. So we've been doing this a long time. We offer a lot of integrations. And then on the Sage front, we've actually worked with them for over 23 years. We are a Sage Gold Master Developer. So of course, we're always keeping up with the changes that Sage are making, and of course the new versions of Sage that are being rolled out. So again, always compatible with the different changes in versions of Sage. All right. So a little quick rundown about the integration between Starship and Sage 100. So again, we are just simply, it's very simple, so to say. It's simple data mapping of information. So it's a direct integration to Sage 100. So there is no middleware, anything like that. What we're doing is simply mapping all the Starship fields directly to and from Sage fields. And those could be Sage standard fields. They could be user-defined fields if you are using user-defined fields. The other nice thing with mappings, I see a lot of our clients, hey, inside of Starship, we want to pull by the sales order number. So if we're pulling by sales order, it does not mean Starship is just limited to looking at sales order fields inside of Sage. So a lot of our clients, oh yeah, you know what? We actually have user-defined fields in item maintenance. and I want Starship to pull them in. A lot of clients that we have also ship third-party type shipments, and we can set up Starship where it automatically changes the billing type to third party. And in those scenarios, a lot of customers have the customer's third-party account number living in customer maintenance, or maybe it is on the sales order in a user-defined field. So again, we can map in information from different areas, and that way we really want to configure Starship. So as shippers, we're not going to have to stop and fill out information. You know, we want to make it the less that they have to click, type, touch, the better. Okay. Now, Starship's also considered what we call multi-user, multi-carrier, multi-mode. And what that means is you're going to be able to use Starship to process all your different type of shipments. So, of course, small parcel, LTL shipments, international, hazmat, anything with hazardous, blind drop shipments. So really, as a shipper, I'm just going to be able to work inside Starship and process all the different type of shipments. Also with Starship, we don't have to pull data from Sage 100. So if I kind of call them the one-off shipments, where maybe an employee wants to ship something, or maybe someone's shipping samples where, oh yeah, inside Sage, we don't create a sales order for that sample. So again, you could just use Starship to process your shipments. But inside Starship, it is going to give you the ability to rate shop dozens of small parcel and LTL carriers. So from one piece of software, you're going to be able to see your live contract rates that you have with each of your carriers. We can also, of course, display published list rates if needed. But again, you're going to see those live rates automatically being returned to Starship. We also include things like estimated delivery times, days in transit. So again, as a shipper, I'm going to be able to see all that valuable information, so I can even make sure, you know, is this shipment going to get there in time? Or am I using the least expensive carrier? You know, maybe we want to save some extra money and send it out by a least expensive carrier. So right from inside Starship, the shipper is going to be able to do that. As I mentioned, international shipments, inside Starship, we actually have a database where we can store all that required international information. So things like Schedule B codes, harmonized codes, country of manufacturer. Hey, what type of documents do I need Starship to generate? So all that could just be done inside of Starship. So again, as a shipper, I don't have to stop and manually fill out that information. If anyone out there is working with trading partners and we have EDI requirements and we need advanced ship notices, Starship fully supports that. And of course, a couple slides later, I'll jump into all these little bullet points here. But just know we do fully support EDI. And then I think I mentioned earlier, if you're doing hazmat or blind drop shipments, we can also streamline that whole shipping process because inside Starship, we have a database for that required hazardous information. Or we can even set up Starship to automatically change the sender information if it's a blind drop shipment. Okay, so again, I'm going to probably say this 100 times, but I'll say streamline. But that's really the functionality of Starship is to make that whole shipping process as automated or streamlined as much for your shippers. Now, Starship is a cloud-based solution, and really we just have different plans based on your shipping volumes. Each of those plans, you are going to gain access to things like unlimited users. Depending on your plan, of course, we have small parcel only plans, we have small parcel and LTL plans, but depending on your plan, you are also going to gain access to the carriers that we have integrations with. And then if you do need like e-commerce integrations, we offer those as well. But here on this slide, just a snapshot of some of those carriers that we do have integrations with. And with all the carriers, as I mentioned, you're going to gain access to things like immediate live rate shopping, where you're going to see public list rates, contract rates. With a lot of the LTL carriers, of course, all of them do support live rate shopping. But for example, like FedEx Freight, you're going to be able to, right from Starship, do live rate shopping, have Starship return a pro number automatically. And then even you can have Starship ping the carrier to let them know that you have something to be picked up on this date between these hours. So again, with those different plans, you can gain access to the carriers that Starship have. So they're all included. You don't have to purchase each one. It's a real nice thing with Starship Cloud. Besides the fact that, of course, it's cloud-based, hosted in Microsoft Azure. So we're going to host it. We're going to maintain it. You're always going to be on the latest and greatest version of Starship. And then that really eliminates the need where, you might not need a server anymore, where you're going to have it with the old Starship where, hey, I needed a server to have the Starship Server Manager on. So it really can help cut those expensive down of maintaining servers, buying servers, so on and so forth. Right. So again, about international shipments, as a shipper, and I have one set up for the demo, you'll see how quick and easy it is, but we can have all the required international documents stored inside Starship. I don't have to worry about filling that out. Again, if you do have, so you're going to see Starship actually does have databases where you can store some additional shipping information using the Starship database. But as I discussed with that easy mapping where we don't have to reprogram anything, we just simply data map. If you do have that international information or LTL like NMFC code, subcode, freight class living inside of Sage, we can simply map that in. So it's really up to you if you want to use the Starship database or, yeah, I have that living in Sage. I just want Starship to pull it in from the fields inside of Sage. Okay. And then, of course, as I mentioned with Starship, we can set it up where Starship generates the international documents. So, of course, things like commercial invoices, shipper's letter of instruction, certificate of origins. We also do support with like UPS and FedEx. They kind of have those paperless options where they'll electronically deliver the documents. So you're going to see it's really up to you if you want Starship to generate those documents or, yeah, I just want the carrier to electronically send them. As I mentioned, EDI. So if we do have those EDI requirements, of course, we do integrate with EDI solutions that are offered inside the Sage world. But we also have like a custom EDI. But with Starship, we can generate things like ASN numbers. We can create a file, basically an export file that contains all the required EDI information. So you can use that to import into your trading partner's portal. Or like I said, if you are using a EDI solution inside of Sage, you know, sometimes they need that file. There are solutions like ecommerce that actually just have user-defined fields inside of Sage that we can just automatically write the required shipping information to their fields. So a lot of different options with EDI, but just know we do fully support EDI. Even if you have trading partners that want, oh yeah, we need GS 128 or UCC 128 labels. Starship, we can even configure those inside Starship so they get generated right at time of shipment. So as a shipper, I'm going to get all my shipping documents right there as soon as I process that shipment through Starship. Right. And again, hazardous profiles. So inside Starship, we do have a database where we can set up and store profiles. And then that way, Starship, based on the profile, will automatically select all that required hazardous information. And like I said, we can use a Sage field that triggers the profile. A lot of clients that do that where they just have a checkbox that says, hey, this is hazardous. And then they have another field that is the profile name. Starship looks at that, automatically selects the hazardous checkbox, and then automatically assigns the profile. Or that could just be living inside a Starship's database where it knows every time, yep, this item's shipped, it's hazardous, here's the profile. Of course, you always have the option to manually select the profile and select that information. But like I said, we want to try to automate everything as much as possible for your shippers. Big thing with Starship, again, it's live integration. So it's live looking at the Sage data, live pulling the Sage data in, and most importantly, live writing the information back into Sage. So as soon as our shipper processes a shipment, it is going to update Sage. Again, we can, which most clients do, we can automatically create the invoice for the front office. So they don't have to go in there and manually create the invoice. And I'll show you on the demo, when we automatically create that invoice, we're going to update things like the tracking information, freight amounts. We can even reverse translate ship via code. So maybe it comes in as UPS, but we send it out FedEx. That way, all that information is going to be correct on the invoice. Okay. All right. And then again, Starship being cloud database with the different plans that we have based on your shipping volumes, we are offering this webinar incentive. So if you do move forward with Starship by the 15th of December, you can save up to 35% off and receive 2 free additional months. So it's a great promo. And you know, if you want to take advantage of that, definitely please feel free to reach out. And of course, we can schedule a demo and discovery and go over everything. But speaking of demo, let me X out of here. Oops, and of course I got timed down on my demo machine. Give me 1 second and I'll log back in. Okay, so here on my machine, this is the Starship program. Like I said, I'm not going to try to go in too deep into this, just kind of quickly process this. But if you do want to schedule a discovery and demo, you know, feel free to reach out. We're more than happy to do that. But again, with Starship living outside of Sage, as a shipper, I can just work inside of the Starship program. So technically, I don't need to have Sage 100 installed on those shipping workstations. I don't need my shippers to be inside of Sage. So a lot of clients, yeah, it'd be nice if my shippers don't have access to Sage, save us some Sage licenses, or I don't want them to get in there and be able to access additional information. So as a shipper, we can just work inside of Starship. In this case, I'm just going to quickly grab a sales order that I want to ship. But of course, these are the sales orders that I have inside of Sage 100. If someone in the front office has added a new one, Starship's going to pick it up. If someone goes and makes a revision, Starship's automatically going to pick it up. So again, it's that constant live connection. I do have options. Of course, this being a demo, I just normally just manually select the sales order. But in your workflow, you can even have the sales order number barcoded. Just use a wedge type plug and play scanner, scan in that sales order number. Starship would automatically load it. So in this case, I'm just going to manually select this one. But regardless of if I type in, barcode scan, or manually select, Starship is going to take me to my shipping screen. Here's all my shipping information already loaded. This is actually an example of a international blind drop shipment in a third party. And as you're going to see, everything is automated for me. So here's my sender. Starship automatically knows to change the company name to Tractor Supply Company for me. I don't have to touch that. Down here in the transportation, I have a ship via code that's telling Starship this is going UPS, standard to Canada, and I want to send it billing third party. As you see, all that information's automatically been selected. This drop down, just the database we have for your customer's account information. It's automatically been selected for me, and I'll drill into it, but here's my customer's address and their different carrier account numbers. So all that's populated. Like I said, if you do have the account number living in Sage, yeah, we can simply map that in. So it's up to you where we grab that data from. All right. So there's my transportation information. Next door, this one's already set up. It knows it needs insurance. It's populated the base amount automatically for me. I'm even telling Starship, yeah, I want to use the carrier email and shoot that out to the customer if there's a delay or an exception. So again, that's all done. Next step, maybe if I'm not using like a warehouse management system, I can come in here and put items in boxes if I want. This is an example of a packaging scenario. Starship knows every time I ship up to 6 blankets, it goes into a box called blanket. In this case, but what I'll do, I'll just put everything in one box. So I can quickly add boxes. I don't have to put items in boxes if I don't want. As long as I have a weight, Starship will allow me to ship this. Same thing with this drop down. If you have set size boxes, your shippers can select those. Okay, so there's my package, my items, quantities. That's what's available. If anything was back ordered inside of Sage, it's going to come back ordered inside of Starship. Next step, I can scroll down here and then do live rate shopping. So here are my carriers. Here are all the information: business, total, ETA, contract, list, applied. And actually, let me change this from third party. Starship will actually yell at you if the third party account number is not valid. It won't let me ship it, because that way I'm not going to get stuck, or you won't get stuck paying for the shipment. So I'm just going to change that to prepaid. But again, here's all my rates applied. This is what Starship's going to write back into Sage. Now, if this is an e-commerce order, of course, we can tell Starship, yeah, in that scenario, because you've already charged the customer, do not overwrite the freight amount, because you've already charged them. You don't want to overwrite that. But for your non-EDI, where you want to charge the customer, applied charges can include plus or minus freight rules, where, yeah, I want to give the customer a discount, or, it's free shipping over X amount of dollars. Same thing with this carrier selection. If you want to do best way shipping, can have rules set up. Hey, Starship, automatically select the least expensive carrier, or maybe the least amount of delivery days. So again, that's all, you can automate that. In this case, I'm just going to do ship and process. And then at that time, what Starship's going to do, it's automatically going to print my shipping documents. So shipping labels, go to a thermal printer. Packing lists, either go to a thermal or a laser printer. This one's example of one I customize, where we can customize documents for you and put rules. So Starship knows, blind drop shipment for Tractor Supply Company, need to print this special packing list that has their logo, their information. International documents, commercial invoice, as you see, everything's filled out. Certificate of origin. If we're doing LTL, I can do a straight bill of lading, everything filled out. VIC bill lading, again, everything's filled out. I don't have to worry about filling out documents. Pallet labels, barcoded pallet labels. So as a shipper, they're going to receive all their documents. Starship takes them back to the main screen, and then back inside of Sage. Let me do this here. We do, if anyone's using batches, we do fully support batches. You can assign batches at time of shipment just right through Starship. I think this one I put into batch 7. Yep, there it is. So again, real live time. Now for the front office, we can come in here and see, oh, yep, this one's sales order 222 has been shipped. Here's the invoice. Like I said, reverse translate things like ship via codes. Tracking, Nick mentioned this, where Starship's automatically going to update the individual tracking numbers. We can even see items of box detail if we're getting into that level of detail inside of Starship. Right, so all that information automatically writing back. Here's that standard freight amount field inside of Sage. So again, e-commerce probably not going to update that. But if you want, Starship has a built-in custom write back feature where in this case, I'm writing back my contract rate into this user defined field. But for e-commerce, maybe you want to do something like, okay, Starship, leave what we charge them alone, of course, but let's have a field, a user defined field where we're going to write back, you know what would we charge them at that time through Starship? That way you can use that to make sure you're charging enough on your e-commerce sites, making sure you're not shorting yourself. Okay, so again, that's all automated. And then with Starship, we just create these invoices. You still have to generate them, print, email, daily transaction register. So you still have the option to, go through, do all that. That way, again, you can review them, make sure the information is correct. All right, and then real quick, our dashboard program where, hey, maybe in the front office, I have to wait. I have to call the warehouse. Did this ship? Or, what's the shipping information? I can come in here now and see what's been shipped, what's voided, what's late, what's been delivered. We have all these different grids and graphs. Maybe I just want to see a quick summary of the shipping information. I can even drill down into the actual Starship record and see all the actual Starship detail. I don't print documents through my system, but if we print documents, this would be hyperlinked. I can quickly PDF or maybe send the customer, hey, they called up, they didn't get their packing list. So you have quick access to all that information. Things like heat maps. Where are my hotspots going? Oh yeah, the UPS rep is here. He wants to give us great rates to Colorado. Yeah, we don't really ship to Colorado. How about to San Francisco? Okay, so quick access to all your shipping information. Canned crystal reports. Of course, if you need to run any out of box report. And then last but not least, this is that e-notify program where it's really going to allow you to create your own custom email templates. And here's one I just created for the one we just shipped. Here's our company information. Hey, your sales order 222, PO number. It's coming UPS. This is where it's going to. You're going to get one package. You should have it by the 22nd. Live real-time ETA, so those are accurate. And then down here, if you want, you can even show the customer item box detail. Again, hyperlink tracking numbers. Customer can click on this, be directed to the carrier's website. And then even with these emails, you can do unlimited templates and assign emailing rules. So this one, I have a 20% off promo code. Hey, promo codes, you can hyperlink, kick them back to your website or wherever you want to send them. But point being is maybe I only want to send this certain template to, my gold customers or certain customers. Of course, you could create those rules and Starship will follow them. All right.
Thank you, Matt. Great presentation.
Yeah, again, everyone, we all appreciate your time for joining the webinar. And again, please feel free to reach out to us if you need anything else.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.